Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Zuby Coco, and if you are seeing me for the first time, welcome to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be making a shirt top. It has two straps at the side, at the shoulder, and it has flare at the bottom. I used 2 yards of fabric, approximately 2 yards of fabric, 60-inch long. That's what I use for this top. It's something you can wear for summer, to the beach, just some casual. If you want to take a walk in the evening, it's really comfortable, and it's something that you can make as a beginner. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Subscribe. I make sewing videos, fashion business tip videos, fabric sourcing videos, and I'll be putting all of that content. Do not to subscribe and hit the bell notification sign so I get notification whenever I post a new video. Let's get right into the video. I'm needing 1.5 yards, 1.5 yards of cotton, lightweight cotton fabric. I'm using the fabric that you can use as for men's shirts, and we'll be using elastic threads, 2 elastic thread, regular thread, your bobbin, your shuttle, a marking chalk, and measuring tape. So you're going to start off by taking your measurement. How long do you want your top to be, and how long your straps are going to be, and the width of your busts, which I didn't show you here. I cut out my fabric, the width of my fabric, 60-inch long by 23-inch wide. I would have made it longer. I would have used my bust multiplied by 2, but I didn't have enough fabric, so I just used the fabric that I had, which was 60-inch long. I went ahead and folded the edges of my fabric. You want to do well by folding all of the fabrics, all of the edges. You also want to do well by making your straps, everything that requires doing the normal sewing. You want to do all of that before you start to use your elastic thread. And here I was just marking out my flay, how long I want my flay to be, so that I will stop sewing the elastic thread at that point. I also marked out a long piece of strap for my straps, a long piece of rectangular fabric for my straps, 14-inch wide, long by 3.5-inch wide. I folded it, and then this is what I'm stitching down. So I'm going to be leaving one end open, and then I'll be stitching down the other end. My machine was giving me a bit of time here, so I just flipped the bobbin and I tried it again. It was okay, so let's go to the next stage. So we just continue by sewing down the straps, and once we're done sewing the straps, we flip it inside out. So our straps are ready, everything is good. I was so lazy to go iron it, so I just used my table edges to straighten out the edge. So this is a tip for those that don't like to iron. Just use your table edge, depending on what you're trying to iron do. Use your table edge to straighten out, or you can even sit on it. Some people sit on theirs. So once I'm done, I go ahead and I reel my elastic thread around my bobbin. You want to do this very carefully. Like you don't want to pull on the elastic thread so much. You just want to do it with ease. Like, don't pull on it when you are doing this. For me, the trick is to do as many of this as possible, so that once I sit down to sew, I just keep sewing till I exhaust all of the bobbins. And on the shuttle, you want to loosen it a bit. That way it will give room for the elastic thread to come out easily without any issues. And then you swap out the other shuttle and then put in this new shuttle with the elastic thread. For the measurements, different sewing machines have different measurements, but on your sewing machine, choose the longest stitch. You don't need to adjust the tension, just adjust the stitch. That way it's like you're doing a gather stitch. So once you start to sew with the elastic thread and with the gather stitch, it just pulls together. And the elastic thread is very forgiving. It doesn't really give a hard time the way it looks like. You look at it and you're like, oh, can I do this? But once you start to sew, you see that it's actually very easy to work with. It doesn't really give issues. In fact, it doesn't give issues as long as you stick to these procedures before you start to sew with it. So the rest of the work would just be sewing. So if we are doing like a long dress, like in my first video on this channel, or my second video on this channel, I'll link above that took me a longer time because I did a full dress from head, from like a off shoulder dress, and that took me a longer time. If you've not seen that video, please go and see the video. But this didn't really take me time, you know. It took me about 2 days just because the light wasn't consistent. And here I had my face mask on. This was in the night. I was stitching in the night. So it was late in the night, but we have to do what we have to do. So you just keep stitching to the very end, to the point where we marked the line for our fleece to start. So the moment you are gathering, you don't need to do anything magical. Once you start to gather, the fillet forms at the bottom because it's a long rectangular piece, right? But when you are gathering, it starts to form the fillet at the bottom. So it just happens on its own. You don't need to do any other thing to form the fillet. So this is what it looks like once we're done, you know, shirring. And then we'll just fold it together, right sides facing right sides, and then we'll sew down. You remember to take out the previous shuttle that you used, the ones that you're losing, and then you replace it with the normal shuttle that you have, not losing, with your normal thread at the bottom as well. And then you switch out your settings back to how it was before. Now it's time to attach our straps, and we're almost done. So you just mark out how wide you want your straps to be, how wide apart you want your straps to be. I use 3.5 inches wide apart, and then when you open it up, it's a total of 7 inches. And I just folded the raw edge in and then pin down and stitch on for the 4 straps. And we are good. So if you find this video useful, please share with your friends and family, like and subscribe to my channel.